Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Patriots, grab your coffee. Buckle up. Because what I'm about to break down should make the blood boil in every single American who gives a damn about this country. Today, we're diving into yet another showcase of the absolute rot at the core of our so-called justice system. A federal agency that's supposed to uphold the Constitution, your rights, your freedoms, your laws, is now just another tool for the elitist, bureaucratic swamp to protect their own and crush anyone who gets in their way. We just witnessed a jaw-dropping hearing that put everything on the table: election interference, illegal immigration, deep state corruption, and yes, Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm here to say what every real American is thinking, but what your corporate media will never dare utter. Let's break it down. Let's start with the part that should make every law-abiding citizen ask, what the hell is happening in this country? A state court judge in Wisconsin broke federal law by helping an illegal alien avoid being taken into custody. That's not just unethical. That's criminal. And thank God, this judge was arrested by field agents. Now pause with me here, folks. Imagine you, just an average tax-paying American, helping someone dodge the feds. You think you'd get a pat on the back? No. You'd be in handcuffs faster than Hunter Biden can light up a crack pipe. But because this person was a judge, part of the elite legal system, they thought they were untouchable. Newsflash, federal law is not optional. Not for you. Not for me. And damn sure not for some robe-wearing progressive activist on a bench. The senator at the hearing asked a question we all know the answer to. Do Americans get to pick and choose which laws to follow? No. Does a judge get to ignore federal law? No. And if you do, you get arrested. That's called equal treatment under the law. Or at least, it used to be.
Mr. Director, worry not. We'll make sure your agency is adequately funded. This judge you arrested in Wisconsin, she was breaking federal law, wasn't she?
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
And this would be the same same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok, with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story that was widely covered talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon to be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yeah. Who at the FBI refused to let the FBI tell the American people the truth?
I don't have that name in front of me, sir.
Well, would you look?
I will, sir.
I'd like to know. I'd like a name, not a division. I'd like the name. Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Reid.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director. As you're well aware, DOJ...
Now, let's talk about Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, the poster children for deep state corruption. These two weren't just having an affair. They were plotting political sabotage from inside your government. They hated Trump. They adored Hillary Clinton. And they didn't even try to hide it. Remember that infamous message? Lisa Page says, Trump's not going to win, right? And Strzok replies, no, he won't. We'll stop it. We'll stop it. That's not just bias. That's conspiracy. That's weaponized government. Let me say this loud and clear for every American. The FBI was trying to stop the will of the people. You thought your vote mattered? These unelected bureaucrats didn't. And what did they get for it? Strzok was fired, Page quit before she could be canned, and what do you know? Our taxpayer dollars still paid them off like royalty. $1.2 million to Strzok. $800,000 to Lisa Page. What kind of message does that send? Hey, sabotage democracy, push lies about Russia, try to rig an election, and when you get caught, we'll cut you a check. It's no wonder the senator said, "Pass me the sick bucket." I wanted to throw my own damn shoe at the TV. Now if that wasn't enough, let's talk about the one laptop the media couldn't cover fast enough, and the FBI couldn't suppress hard enough. Hunter Biden's laptop. The infamous, disgusting hard drive full of dirty deals, emails, and evidence of influence peddling that should have brought down the entire Biden dynasty. The FBI had it for 10 months before the election. 10. And right before that election, Antony Blinken, yes, the same man who's now Secretary of State, got 51 intelligence officials to sign a letter saying the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Let me say this again. They knew it was real. The FBI had the damn laptop. They had it for nearly a year. But they chose, deliberately, to lie to the American people. Why? Because truth didn't fit their narrative. Because they wanted Biden in and Trump out. Because the institutions meant to protect us have become the muscle for the regime. This wasn't just a lie. This was election interference on a scale that makes Watergate look like child's play. And here's the best part. When asked who at the FBI made the call to bury the truth about the laptop, the answer? I don't have that name in front of me, sir. Oh, how convenient. Let me tell you something, folks. Bureaucracy hides behind departments. Patriots demand names. We want the individuals, the flesh and blood traitors to accountability. The senator nailed it. I want a name. Not a division. A person. With a brain. And a beating heart. Exactly. And finally, the question we've all been asking since 2019. Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? And the FBI response? We believe he did. Oh, do you now? The man who had dirt on the world's most powerful people, on Wall Street, in Hollywood, in D.C., the man with cameras conveniently malfunctioning, guards sleeping, and cellmates moved. Yeah, sure. He just hung himself. And 4 years later, the FBI is still working on releasing the documents. Still. Protecting who? The victims? Or the VIP clients in Epstein's black book? We're told the release must be done in a way that protects victims. Fair. But that doesn't explain the years of delay, the redactions, the stonewalling. The truth. They don't want us to know how deep the rot goes. Patriots, here's where we are. A judge helps an illegal break the law, gets arrested, finally. Government agents interfere in elections, and get paid. The FBI buries laptop evidence, and the media lies for them. And the people demand answers about Epstein, and we get delays. If you're not angry, you're not awake. This is not the America our founders envisioned. This is not liberty. This is not justice. This is corruption. We are watching a two-tiered system where insiders walk free and patriots get prosecuted. But I'll say this. We will not shut up. We will not back down. We will hold the line. Because the soul of this country, our republic, is worth fighting for. This is Founding Voice America. And we will keep exposing the truth they want buried 6 feet under. Like, share, subscribe, and never forget. They may control the agencies. They may control the narrative. But they'll never control us. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.